Welcome to the $5 channel and our video on how to play street craps with yard dice. In this video, we will discuss not only the rules and how to play street craps, but we'll also go over how street craps, or as some people call it, street dice, differs from casino craps. And we'll do all of this using some outdoor yard dice. It's going to be fun. If you enjoy this video, please be sure to like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the $5 channel. So you might be asking yourself, why play with yard dice? Well, maybe you've been wanting to play craps with some buddies, but you don't have or don't want to invest in a craps table. You could also make your backyard barbecues a lot more fun by adding street craps to your outdoor games. Move over, cornhole. Daddy needs new golf clubs. Or you can even take these bad boys to the lake or the beach with you for a little change of pace and some outdoor fun. You could even play a couple of non-craps games with the dice, like an outdoor game of Yardzee called Yardzee. Also, the rules and scoreboards for a dice game called Yarkle also comes with the dice set. I'm including a link to where you can buy the outdoor dice set in the description of this video. Now let's move on and dive into street craps. There are a lot of similarities to casino craps, but some significant differences as well. Rather than playing against the casino, players will play against each other. You'll actually take turns being the shooter and another person will fade you. That is, they will bet an equal amount against you. To get started, you can roll a single dice to see who shoots first, or just pick someone, however you want to do that. On the initial roll, or the come out roll, it's very similar to regular craps. The shooter places a bet amount, and then someone fades them, or places the bet against them. The shooter picks up 2 dice and tosses them. Just like in casino craps, on the come out roll, the shooter wins on 7 or 11. The person betting against the shooter or the fader wins on a 2, 3, or 12. Any other number becomes the point. Again, just like in regular craps. Let's say, for example, the shooter throws a 2 on the come out roll. The shooter loses the bet and the fader wins. You replace the bets and you go again. Now, let's say the shooter throws an 11 on the come out roll. The shooter wins, and once again, you're still trying to set a point. You start over again with a new bet. Again, any other number other than the 7, 11, or 2, 3, or 12, and that number becomes the point. Let's say the shooter throws a 4 on the come out roll. The point is now 4. From here, it's pretty simple. The shooter will continue to throw the dice until they either throw a 4, the point, or they throw a 7. If they throw a 4, the shooter wins the pot. If they throw a 7, the fader wins the pot. Pretty simple, right? Pretty much the same as casino craps. If the shooter throws a 7, they not only lose the bet, but they also lose their turn throwing the dice, and it's the next shooter's turn to throw. Should the shooter make their point, in the last example, they throw the point they had established as a 4, they win the pot, and they start the game again with the same shooter setting a new point.
Baby needs shoes.
To this point, the rules aren't much different than casino craps. But let's talk about side bets. And here is where it gets into some more significant differences. Instead of placing any number as a place bet, you're betting side bets in groups of numbers. The numbers are grouped together with like probabilities. The groups of numbers are 5 and 9, 6 and 8, and 4 and 10. So, unlike regular craps, you aren't making a simple place bet on a 6, for example. You make a side bet on the 6 and 8. Many people play where you can only make a side bet on a number that's in your point. For example, if the point is 6, you have the option to place a 6-8 side bet. You have to have someone willing to fade your bet or take the opposite side of your bet, of course. And the bet is for even money. Now, you might be asking yourself, why would I fade someone on the 6 and 8 when they get both numbers? Well, here's where it gets interesting. Since you're betting even money on these side bets, the number that the shooter can crap out on changes to help even the odds. You would be correct in not wanting to take a fade bet against the 6 and 8 if the only number the shooter can crap out on was a 7. There are 5 dice combinations for each the 6 and the 8, giving the 6-8 combination a total of 10 combinations on the dice, where the 7 only has 6 ways to throw it. While the 7 is the number with the most combinations by itself, that's not enough to offset the advantage of having both the 6 and 8 to make it worth fading the shooter on this bet. Now, the rules can vary for different people playing street craps. Some people use 7 and 11 as the crap numbers against the 6-8 side bet, meaning that if the shooter throws a 7 or an 11, the shooter loses the 6-8 side bet and the fade better wins. It's important to note that on the initial point bet, regardless of what the point is, the only way to lose that bet is to throw a 7. Should a shooter throw a 7, they would not only lose the side bet, but the point bet as well, and their turn is over. If they throw an 11, they lose the side bet, but the point bet remains and the game continues. Now, let's step back for a minute on the 6-8 side bet. I mentioned that the rules can vary. Again, there are a total of 10 ways you can throw a 6 or an 8 combined, and only 8 ways to throw a 7 or an 11. You could choose to add all the craps numbers in to the 7 to crap out against the 6-8. Or you could just choose to add the 2 and the 12 to make the odds more even. That's totally up to you. But if it gets confusing, I'd just stick with the 7 and 11. Let's take a look at the other place bets as well. You have the options of a group of 5 and 9 or 4 and 10. Having the additional craps numbers to even things out a bit. True odds on a 4 or a 10 pays double in the casino craps. Here you're betting even money. Both the 4-10 combo and the 7 by itself provide 6 dice combinations that you can throw them. With the absence of true casino house, since there's no casino, which you're playing against another player, betting an even amount of money and combining the groups of numbers in your side bets and then adjusting the crap out number to a 7 or 11 for the 5 and 9 and 6 and 8 helps to make the probabilities more in line for both parties. So that's pretty much the basic of street craps. You're playing against each other, you're taking a bet, somebody's fading you, you're setting a point, trying to hit that point. Pretty much the same as regular craps. The side bets come into play. Somebody's got to fade you on them. You're doing them in groups of 5 and 9, 6 and 8, 4 and 10. You're crapping out on a 7 with the 4-10. You're crapping out on a 7 or 11 with the either 5-9 or 6 and 8. And other than that, it's not that much different than regular craps, but it gives you the flexibility of being able to play without a table. And again, using these street dice, the outdoor dice, to take the game outside takes it to a whole new level. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If so, please like, comment. Don't forget to subscribe to the $5 channel. And as always, go and make your own luck, my friends.